Oh, I, I'll have to let me open this up here. Holy shit! Fuck. Hmm. Well, I guess this is going to be this Wednesday's review. Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another Wednesday review. And this, of course, is, well, brought to you at least by the members of this Polish black slash death metal band Sarmat, right here, which is titled RS-28, which was independently released here on March 19th. So, Sarmat, again, they are based out of Poland and were formed all the way in 2018. And again, this is their first album, again, coming out here this year. And again, this is brought to you at least by the members of Sarmat, who had at least sent this out to me to review, some weeks ago. And of course, it arrived at least sometime earlier. At least it seemed to have been, it was Thursday that I received this. So it arrived right on time, but here it is. So without further ado, since I gotta at least to keep my promise for obligations to review this, let me get into, of course, my thoughts on RS-28, the debut album here from Sarmat. Alright, so before I really get into any of my thoughts on this album, you know what I have to do? I have to do a track listing rundown so I can tell you folks what are the songs on this album, how many songs are on this album, and what is the time length for this album. And since we have at least about 8 songs on this album, it actually clocks in around 33 minutes and 33 seconds. So 33 there. There you go. So these 8 songs are Cold Grinder, Evolution, The Shining of Aneros, I think it's actually titled Aneros. The title track, Seeds of Uncertainty, You Don't Live in My War, and then of course ending with both the Blackout Scenario for Tomorrow Part 1 and Part 2. So there you go, there's your 8 songs. So before we really get into at least my entire thoughts, I guess this is really going to head into at least in terms of me just summarizing the band's sound, but I have to definitely, before we get into that, I'm going to at least tell you where their band name originates from. So, again, right here, since it's being stated on the Metal Archives, the band's name is taken from the weapon of ultimate destruction, the Russian Super Heavy Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, RS-28 Sarmat, also known as Satan II, which was developed, of course, by Vladimir Putin and his clan back in, March of 2018, around the time that these guys probably would have been formed. So, I guess it seems very coincidental, since they probably were looking for a band name, and seeing that since they were, obviously in Russia, they were launching this new missile, this fucking new technology, basically, or just the new weapon of mass destruction, basically. They thought, well, you know what? The light bulb just hit in their fucking heads, and that, you know what? This probably will be a great name for us. And you know what? It probably is the best summarizing, the whole best description alone to really just, again, just to summarize the band's sound and the whole entire album, because it literally does sound like an absolute fucking missile just completely obliterating an entire landfill. Actually, it could be an entire fucking city. I mean, the cover art. It literally sounds like the fucking cover art here. I mean, this is just straight up, no BS, just straight to the fucking jugular, black and death metal. This, everything about this is like literally the sounds of mass destruction, hell on earth. Hell, it fucking arrived in style on that Thursday, because of Thursday it looked absolutely horrible outside, with at least the smokes coming from the fire. It looked pitch black. It looked like hell. So the album arrived in fucking style basically on that day. And that's what it pretty much sounds like. It is just, oh my god, I mean, just check out the songs, like, again, like Cold Grinder is just absolutely monstrous of a track, and just a great way to open up the album. And to, of course, The Shining of a Neros is another fucking good track. Of course, the title track is fantastic too, but of course, one of the other crown jewels is both the Blackout, The Scenario of Tomorrow Parts 1 and 2. Both these two tracks are just, every bit of this is just great. Also, I have to talk about the production here, because for an independently released album, this is, everything sounds crisp. This is almost professional sounding stuff right here. This is almost the kind of production you would expect from at least a label like Century Media, or at times maybe even Nuclear Blast or something. Just at least for an example of really top of the line record labels in terms of also the production work. I mean, maybe even Metal Blade. Everything just has a very nice sort of crisp to it. It's got a nice crunch, nice warmth to at least the sound. It's not really overly digital sounding. Everything has a very natural sound to it. Maybe the drums, but you know what? I don't want to completely knock all of this. It sounds great for a independently released album. It's just great fucking production work, and it really gives the songs its overall just raw, crunchy power. It literally just the sort of dirtiness. It really kind of gives the songs a really nice sort of boost, and it makes everything sound great. So I can't really complain anything. This is just a solid death metal album, or black metal. I mean, there's definitely a lot of that black metal influence. I mean, I could compare them a bit to like Behemoth, actually, since they're both bands from Poland. I can definitely compare them to Behemoth. But if you ask me, I think I kind of like a lot of Sarmat stuff on this album more so than compared to most of the stuff I heard from at least Behemoth. And I only own one Behemoth album, that being Evangelion. So that's the only album I own from them. But as far as just the overall sound, I think I just kind of prefer Sarmat's style. It's just completely raw. It's just completely guttural, straight to the jugular, just pulls no punches. Everything's just great. And the vocals, and I like also how the vocalist here, how he ranges. He's got a really interesting range. You go into almost like you would expect, like either black metal like fucking shrieks, but he definitely does go into even more shouty, but then guttural. For each of the songs, he knows where he uses his range. So it's really interesting, and it's just it really adds to the overall impact of the album. Just everyone just sounds tight here. It's just a solid album. So I really can't say anything bad about this. So I mean, I can go on and about this, but goddamn, this is just a straight good album, and I really can't thank the band enough for sending this out to me. So there you go. There it is. My thoughts on this album right here. RS-28, the debut album from Polish metal band Sarmat, and time to get into my rating here, which I'm giving it a 9.10 out of 10. I was just surprised how good this album is, and I only really reviewed one other sort of death metal album on this channel already, but this one might be one of the better ones I've heard already this year, even though that one was good too. But this is straight up solid black death metal. This is just a good album. So I definitely recommend this album. So if this actually does sound like an album that you might be interested in checking out, if you like death metal, or you like just the sort of the combination of black metal and death metal in general, if you like that combination, you know where to look for in the description box. You can find a link to their Bandcamp page where you can purchase the debut album from Sarmat. So again, you can listen to it and check it out, you know, whatever. If it sounds like something you might be interested in, again, you know what to do. Promote, I wouldn't say promote, I mean to say just support these guys. give these guys at least your time of day. So there we go. That's it. Thank you to the members of Sarmat for sending this album my way. So thank you all. This is Every Thrash saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.